China is a very large country in East Asia. More people live in China than in any other country in the world. Cooking is very important in Chinese life, and Chinese food has lots of different flavours. There's sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and spicy. Most food is cooked in small bite-sized pieces and eaten with chopsticks instead of knives and forks. Larry has washed his hands, put on his apron, and he's ready to cook.
Today I'm going to cook steamed tofu, egg and prawn for my friends.
And he's invited Lewis, Anya, and Morgan to taste one of the main ingredients before they come round for a very special Chinese meal later. What's that?
It's all squishy.
It's tofu. No one seems very keen on tofu so far.
Tastes soggy. I don't want to eat any more of it. It's disgusting.
Let's see if Larry can change their minds, because it's one of the main ingredients in his tofu, egg and prawn recipe. As well as silken tofu, you will need eggs, salt, water, prawns, broccoli, sesame oil, spring onions, soy sauce and fish sauce.
Now we wash the prawns in colander. I'm washing them to get rid of the dirt.
Add a pinch of salt and then give them another rinse.
Now I'm going to pat them dry with a kitchen towel.
That's right, Larry. You must wash your hands after handling raw prawns. Crack some eggs.
In Chinese, we say egg as 鸡蛋.
Wipe your hands again. Add a pinch of salt.
I'm going to use chopsticks to stir them. Chopsticks are things that Chinese people used to eat.
Then pour the eggs over the prawns. Now for spring onions.
This is what we call top and tailing.
Then carefully cut up the rest of the spring onions. Let's see if Cassava can change their minds, because tamarind is a special ingredient in her recipe. You'll also need turmeric powder, chopped tomatoes, curry leaves, shallots, coconut milk, fish, chili powder, coriander powder, vegetable oil, fennel seeds, fenugreek seeds, garlic puree and mustard seeds.
First I'm going to get my dish and then I'm going to get my vegetable oil.
Spoon the oil into an oven-proof dish and add mustard seeds, fennel seeds, fenugreek seeds, curry leaves, and then give it a mix.
Makisa, can you help me with the shallots?
Aksara's big sister, Makisa, is helping to prepare the shallots by carefully cutting off the ends, like this.
Now peeling the shallots.
Carefully cut the shallots in half and then chop them into small pieces.
Now I'm going to put my shallots in the dish.
Give it a mix, cover the dish with foil and ask a grown-up to help.
Mum, could you put this in the oven, please?
Mum is putting the shallot and spice mixture in the oven to cook for a while.
Now it's time for my special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? It's tamarind. The tamarind fruit grows on trees in long brown pods. Inside the pod are seeds and juicy pulp, which have a sweet and sour taste. It can be added to soups and desserts, or dried in a block, then soaked in water to make tamarind paste. It's been said that tamarind can be good for you, and in Asia, some people rub it on their foreheads to make them feel better. Aksara has already soaked her dried tamarind in water.
Now I'm going to mash up the tamarind with my fingers.
Tip the soaked tamarind into a sieve and push the pulp through like this to get rid of any lumps.
I like the smell of tamarind. Now I'm going to scrape off the tamarind at the bottom of the sieve into the bowl.
Wow, that looks very messy, but such fun. As well as mushrooms, you'll need cooked spinach, grated cheese, vegetable oil, plain flour, water and salt.
First I'm going to get the flour and then I put a little hole and add the water and squish them together with my hands.
What are you making there, Chuki?
I am making the dough.
That's more water and flour going in.
It feels very squishy. It's like some slime. My mum told me how to make this recipe. My favourite food is momo, so that's why I'm making it today.
Flour the worktop, push and pull the dough some more, and then put the dough back into the bowl. Cover the bowl with a clean tea towel and put it to one side for later. Then wash those sticky fingers.
Now I'm gonna make the fillings.
Ask a grown-up to cook and cool some spinach for you.
I'm gonna use 2 forks to pull the spinach into small pieces.
Add the spinach to grated cheese.
Now it's time for my very special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? It's mushrooms. Mushrooms are a type of fungus that grow very fast. There are many different types of mushrooms that grow in all sorts of places. It's important not to pick and eat them because not all mushrooms are safe to eat and some can even be poisonous. Mushrooms can grow very large and one type of mushroom has been found to be bigger than a blue whale. There are even mushrooms that glow in the dark and people have been known to use these to help them see their way around.
I'm gonna get the mushrooms and I'm gonna squish them together to small pieces.
Have you been to Tibet before, Chuki?
I have been to Tibet before. There were like some dusty roads and there was lots of people and there were lots of traditional houses. Now I get the bowl with cheese and spinach and then I add the mushrooms in it.
Add some vegetable oil and a pinch of salt.
And then I mix them together.
Chuki is using her hands, but you can use a spoon if you want to.
And then I'm going to oil the steamer.
That will stop the momos from sticking.
Now I'm going to flour the surface and then I'm going to put the dough on.
Split the dough in half and roll one half into a sausage shape. Reese has washed her hands, put on her apron, and she's ready to cook.
Today, I'm going to be making cassava cake for my friends.
And she's invited Xavier, Meadow, and Raga to taste one of the main ingredients before they come round for a very special cake from the Philippines later. What's that?
Feels a bit like glue. It feels wet and slippery.
What do you think it is?
I don't know what it is.
It's cooked cassava. Do you like it?
It tastes a bit plain. If it was cooked differently, I wouldn't mind trying it.
That's good.
I don't want to eat it.
Oh dear, let's see if Reese can change their minds. because cassava is one of the most important ingredients in her cassava cake. As well as cassava, you'll also need coconut cream, coconut milk, eggs, vegetable oil, milk, sugar, vanilla extract, grated cheese and fruit. So, what's first, Reese?
First, you want to crack the egg into a cup to see if the egg is good or bad. You also want to see if the egg has got any shells in it.
Ah, good idea, Reese. Keep an eye out for any eggshell. Oh, there goes the second egg.
Now we're going to whisk the eggs. So we're going to add in our 2 eggs into the bowl. I'm going to wipe my hands with some tissue.
Well remembered, Reese.
I'm going to add in our coconut milk, followed by our coconut cream. Now we are going to add in 80 millilitres of milk.
That's just right. Add some vegetable oil. And what's next?
Now we're going to add in some vanilla extract into the bowl. Vanilla extract will give it some flavour. Now we're going to add in some sugar into the bowl.
Ah, that's the idea, Reese. Give it a good mix.
Now we are going to add in our most important ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? Cassava. Cassava is a plant that grows in the Philippines. They can grow very tall, taller than people. Cassava plants have funny-shaped roots called tubers, which are often used in cooking. The tubers can be chopped up very small and used in sweet recipes such as cakes. Cassava tubers can be used to make all sorts of foods, including flour, bread, and even baby food. India is called the land of spices. It produces more spices than any other country in the world. Ria and Rohan have washed their hands, put on their aprons, and now they're ready to cook.
We are making tandoori chicken with yogurt and mint sauce for our friends.
And they've invited Winchester, Maya, Abby, and Ben to taste one of the main ingredients before they come round for a very special Indian meal later. What's that?
Is it a sort of nut? I think it's a nut. A nut?
It's not a nut. It's garlic.
Spicy. Yucky and spicy. It makes it really hot. I don't like it. I don't really like it.
Oh no, they don't seem to like garlic at all. Let's find out if Ria and Rohan can change their minds, because garlic is an important ingredient in their tandoori chicken with yogurt and mint sauce. As well as garlic, you'll need cooked chicken thighs, spices and salt, olive oil, black pepper, natural yogurt, fresh mint and fresh coriander. What's first then, Ria and Rohan?
We're getting the cumin seeds and the coriander seeds.
Ah, that's cumin seeds and coriander seeds.
I'm just going to bust them all up.
Yeah, grind them all up. Add smoked paprika, garam masala, and fenugreek. Be careful not to get any spices in your eyes. Could be painful.
I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And I'm going to add some pepper.
Wow, look at all those colours.
Now we're going to have the scales. Weighing the yogurt. Those two have to be equal like that.
And pour the yogurt in until the scales balance.
There, that's balanced.
Great.
Now we're just going to take that off and pour it in.
What's that?
It smells like fish. Feels like paper. It looks like a snake skin.
Oh, it's definitely not steak skin. Come on, have a guess.
It tastes salty. I think it's seaweed.
Ah, that's right. It's nori seaweed.
Don't really like it. I don't like it.
Oh dear. But let's see if Hannah can change their minds, because seaweed is one of the main ingredients in her sushi. You'll also need a carrot, mayonnaise, a red pepper, eggs, salt, hot water, cucumber, rice vinegar, sushi rice, tinned tuna, and caster sugar.
First I need to measure the rice, then wash it.
Just scoop sushi rice into a sieve or rice rinser like Hannah's. Then rinse it twice in cold water.
Next I'm going to pour the rice into the bowl.
And add some cold water.
Mum, can you put this in the rice cooker?
Hannah's mum is using a special rice cooker to cook the sushi rice, but you could cook it at home in a normal oven. Now, crack an egg, check the shell, tip into a bowl, then do the same with another egg. And don't forget to wipe your hands after touching raw egg. Give your eggs a mix and pour into an oiled loaf tin.
Mum, can you go and put this in the oven?
Oh, well done, Hannah.
Thank you.
Now for the rest of the sushi fillings.
Now I'm going to get 1 spoonful of mayonnaise and stir it in the tuna. The main difference about Japanese food and English food is that Japanese food has more rice and fish, and I think it's tasty.
To make your rice dressing, spoon rice vinegar, caster sugar, and a pinch of salt into a jug, and then give it all a good mix. Then when the rice is cooked and slightly cooled, pour the vinegar dressing all over it and stir it with a spoon or a rice paddle. Now cover the rice with a damp tea towel for a while. When the eggs are cooked and cooled, carefully cut them into thin strips to make one of your sushi fillings. Hannah's going to use sliced cucumber, pepper strips and grated carrot as well.
Now it's time for my very special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? It's nori seaweed. What's that?
I think it's a herb. I think it's a leaf. It smells a bit funny. It feels all slippery. It smells like mint.
Ah, it's a fresh mint leaf.
I don't like it. I don't really like it.
Uh-oh.
I like the smell of it, but I don't really like the taste of it because it tastes like toothpaste.
Oh no. Let's see if Ryan can change their minds, because fresh mint is one of the ingredients in his pork and prawn char. You'll also need an egg, soy sauce, fish sauce, garlic puree, cooked pork mince, cooked shelled prawns, spring onions, black pepper, plain flour, and olive oil.
I'm gonna do 1 spoon of soy sauce into this bowl.
Then add fish sauce and garlic puree. Carefully top and tail spring onions and chop them into small pieces. Add them to the bowl.
Now we can get the pork.
Ryan's mum cooked this earlier. Add it to a plastic food bag.
I think my friends will really like this so much.
Bash it with a rolling pin.
It looks like it's done now.
Yeah, all done.
Now I'm gonna put it into this bowl.
Then get cooked prawns from the fridge.
I'm gonna do the same thing with the prawns what we just did with the pork.
That's right. Just spoon them into your bag and give them a bash. Now remember, you have to be very careful when cooking with prawns, so make sure you don't use this bag again. Add them to the bowl.
It's time for my special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? Fresh mint. Fresh mint is a herb that grows on a plant that has a strong minty taste and smell. The leaves of the mint plant can be dark green, grey-green, or even purple in colour. And this is the part of the plant that we eat. Mint has been grown for a very long time. Many years ago, people who lived in ancient Greece would rub it into their tables and around their homes to make it smell nice. Polina's washed her hands, put on her apron, and she's ready to cook.
Today, I'm making catfish and sticky rice for my friends.
And she's invited Gabriel, Amelia, and Nicola to taste an important ingredient before they come round for her special Thai meal later. What's that?
An onion?
It's not onion.
I think it's a kind of vegetable.
It's not a vegetable. It's lemongrass. What does it taste like?
It tastes like a bit crunchy. I think it's very yucky.
Oh, no.
Ew. It's really disgusting.
Oh dear, no one seems that keen on the taste of lemongrass. Do you think they'll change their minds? Because it's one of the ingredients in Polina's catfish with sticky rice. You'll also need fresh lime, catfish fillets, sweet soy sauce, long shallots, fresh coriander, Thai sticky rice, soft brown sugar, water, black pepper, and olive oil.
First, you get the 1 whole full of rice.
That's uncooked Thai sticky rice. Add cold water and leave it to soak. Now pull the leaves off fresh coriander, put them in a mug and carefully chop them up. You'll need those for your rice later. Add soft brown sugar to sweet soy sauce.
Give it a little stir.
And some water to make your dressing. Then mix it, mix it, mix it. Now carefully cut the ends off long shallots.
We peel these off.
That's right, peel off the skin and put them into a plastic food bag.
Now it's time for my very, very special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? Lemongrass. Lemongrass is a plant that has long, thin green leaves. The leaves look a bit like grass, but taste like lemon, which is where the plant gets its name. The outer leaves of the lemongrass are peeled off to reveal the softer inside that we can eat. Lemongrass is often used as a herb in curries and soups, but can also be used to flavour tea. Lemongrass is especially popular in Asian countries like Thailand, Malaysia and Vietnam, but it's now used in cooking all over the world.